one of you guys suggested this. I think it is a great idea. I have not watched one of this guy's videos for some time now. So he put this out recently. We're gonna check out AVGN talking about video game commercials, like OG video game commercials. I don't know how many of you guys watch Angry Video Game Nerd. James Rolfe. He's been doing this for I think 10 years, 15 years. So he's been doing this for a while. I always loved this Angry Video Game Nerd, persona. So he's gonna be talking about old video game commercials. Yeah, Ewok, me neither. I haven't watched this stuff for a while, but I've always enjoyed his stuff. And I'm curious what old video game commercials he's gonna talk about. So let's take a look. I love this song too. Good diarrhea dumping his ear. Rather eat. Oh, it's a short version of it.
Okay, remember Carmen San Diego? Yeah, I used to actually play all those old PC games, and I watched the TV show and all that. Well, the world's most legendary thief is back in a brand new video game out now. Rookie gumshoes and seasoned detectives are invited to put their sleuthing skills to the test. Play as the world's greatest thief, Carmen San Diego, for the first time in franchise history, and dive headfirst into a world of globe-trotting espionage.
The whole purpose of the Carmen San Diego video game is you were trying to find Carmen San Diego, not be her. And Foxhound, thank you for the follow. Yeah, but why make a video game Oh, I know why they did it. This is a tie-in with the cartoon. This is a tie-in with the current cartoon of Carmen San Diego that follows it. Yeah, that's why. Oh, and Foxhound, thank you for the tier 1 3 months in advance. Thank you so much. Wagat. Naughty.
As you work to outwit Vile's smartest operations. Carmen San Diego wouldn't be a legendary thief without her gadgets. Crack safes, swing from building to building with her grappling hook, and find clues in the dark using night vision and thermal imaging goggles to stop Vile's scheme.
I'm sorry, but wait, hang on. Ah! Okay. Alright, so there's still... Okay. I was gonna say, at least they are still going with somewhat with the premise of the old game, which is to teach people about geography. So at least they're still going with that. Banknote for 100 pounds, meeting England, found to a place where the noble bird stands. Meet a old king. Okay. They're okay. No, Rygat, this is not 90s. This is current. This is a current cartoon of Carmen San Diego. Like I think it's still going now. I think it is still ongoing. So yeah, there's a current cartoon of Carmen San Diego where Carmen San Diego is like oh, you talked about the OG cartoon. Oh, okay, I know that one. I know what you're talking about there. This one is in the current one though.
Travel around the world searching for clues and deciphering clues as you tackle a variety of mini-games in your search for Vile. Use the evidence you collect to uncover Vile operations. Is their hair black? Do they like seafood? What color are their eyes? Use your detective skills to narrow down the suspects, issue an arrest warrant for the culprit, and find them before they escape. Carmen San Diego is available now for PC and console. Use my link in the description below to get your copy now. When it comes to retro games, sometimes the memories that stick out the most are not actually about the games themselves, but the commercials that would air on TV. Now, in the past, I've made many references to these commercials.
Hey, you still don't own a Sega CD? Get the power! Nintendo power!
But it's about time we actually sit down and take a look at some of these commercials, because back then, I tell you, the airwaves were like the fucking Wild West. I mean, video game companies would do anything to advertise their product. They might do something weird, or something funny, or just something creepy, maybe. Well, let's take a look at some of the most memorable commercials from that crazy pastime. First up, all those Atari commercials. I'm actually old enough to remember some of these. And here's that famous jingle. Yeah. Have you played Atari today? Have you? No? Well then, have you eaten breakfast? Have you gotten any exercise? Got any fresh air? Well, fuck all that. If you haven't played Atari today, then what are you doing with your life? Come on.
Yeah.
The fun is back. Oh yes, siree. It's the 2600 from Atari.
Hell yeah, the fun is back. Where did the fun go in the first place? Who knows? Who cares?
Now, isn't that nice? The fun is back. Oh yes, siree.
Wow.
It's the 2600.
Boy, they really tried to make the Atari look.
This little jingle.
I know, Zeb. I was thinking the same thing. It's been a while since I watched James, and James, gamer, 'cause you are a gamer. Dude, you need a new haircut. You need a new haircut, gamer. I'm sorry, this isn't working for you. Honestly, Atanashi, I think James's hairline might be a bit worse than Asme Cold's.
Left such
He
an
usually
impression
does
on
wear
me
hats,
that
Annex,
whenever
just
anybody
not as
says,
AVGN.
isn't that nice, I always have to fight the urge to finish it with, oh yes, siree, it's the 2600 from Atari. You got to get that Atari. Yeah, and then people look at me like,
He is.
yeah,
He's
I'm
getting old.
But the Vanguard commercial is pure gold. You have these nerdy kids sitting around playing the game, but then, what happens when you can't beat the final boss? Well, hand the controller to some meat-headed bozo.
Yeah! But fellas, who destroys the gun?
Luther destroys the gun.
Imagine that. They did a commercial back for the Atari 2600 where Geeks and Jocks worked together. Think of how long this was before geeks were actually considered, like, gamer geeks were considered cool. That is not my chuckle, Revan. That is not my giggle. Yeah, they had a different time, but the thing about this, Dragon, even back then there was that division about the geeks and the jocks. There was that division back then too, but Atari actually made a commercial that brought the two of them together. And this is probably what, the 80s? I'd say that Atari 2600 was probably early 80s.
What? Luther, man. You don't fuck with Luther. What's the guy's deal? So either this dumb Hulk is the only guy who's skilled enough to beat the game, or has he bullied those kids into making them hand over the controller anytime they get to the end?
AVGN asking the real questions.
Then there's this ad for Pitfall.
Just last night, I was lost.
Oh my god. Chat, do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? Huh? Chat, this is Jack Black. This is Jack fucking Black. He was a child actor and did the commercial for Pitfall. Uh-huh. This was him. Yep, I'll rewind it back a little bit. This is a very, very, very young Jack Black.
Then there's this ad for Pitfall.
Just last night, I was lost in the jungle with Pitfall Harry, surrounded by
Wait, who is that?
scorpions.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
That is, isn't it? It's Jack Black. I'm asking, is that Jack Black? It must be. It has to be him.
It is.
Before he was Bowser, before he was trekking through the jungles of Jumanji, he was hyping up the pixelated perils of Pitfall. Everybody knows Super Mario Brothers, but what about plain-ass regular Mario Brothers?
Man, how many people actually know about the regular Mario Brothers game? This was the game that paved the way for Super Mario Brothers. This was the entire game. You were in a sewer running around avoiding crabs. Yeah, this is the OG Mario Brothers.
Mario Brothers, new from Atari.
Well, in this ad for the Atari 5200, we see what must be one of the first live-action portrayals of the Mario Brothers. Well, at least Luigi appears here.
Mario, where are you?
Yeah, that was the catchphrase, I guess.
They made Luigi fat? Well, yeah, it was the original Mario Brothers. Okay, that makes
long
sense.
Before Let's Go, it was Mario, where are you?
Right before a crab chokes him out. Holy shit.
Now, at the time, as a kid, I never thought that video games would ever advance beyond this. I mean, you move a joystick and stuff happens on the TV. That's crazy. How could it get any better than that? Well, then came Nintendo.
This is true,
No
Tybo.
longer was it just about getting the high score. Now you had full-fledged adventures like Zelda. Best way to sell it was with two kids rapping in front of the TV.
It's the Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad.
Who the hell does that? Imagine if you invited your friend over to play.
I remember, apathetic rhetoric, thank you for the follow. I remember actually seeing on one of Nostalgia Critic's videos where he did commercials, they did another rap for like Legend of Zelda. They did a full-on rap for Legend of Zelda, and there was even a crazier Japanese version for a commercial for Legend of Zelda. I don't know if James is going to talk about it here, but it's even wilder than this one that he's watching.
Play a game and you just start rapping.
With your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah.
Well, nothing said it better than Nintendo Power.
Oh, maybe not.
It was like a doped-up MTV acid fest. But that magazine was loaded with so much power, it made...
How many... Okay, gamers. How many of you had Nintendo Power? Oh, I'm glad you liked it, Rhetoric. I hope you like the live version too. We may watch the new one today. Yeah, you guys had Nintendo Power? Yes, he just ate the magazine.
The planet Earth explode. I'm backing that up. The planet Earth explodes.
Oh, dear me. These games are taking me back. Can I stay here forever? Please.
Well, that's why I wanted to watch it, because this will absolutely take us back. And Ewok, thank you.
Damn. That magazine conjured up the apocalypse. Now,
if any magazine
power,
could.
There was the Power Glove. Now, everybody knows the Power
God.
Glove was a piece of shit, but
Yep.
from the commercial, you would never know. Now, I'm not talking about that famous scene in The Wizard, which was like an advertisement in itself.
I love the Power Gloves. It's so awesome. Fucking Lucas. How many of you guys saw that movie? Huh? What was it called? Oh God, what was that movie called? Basically the giant Nintendo, it's so bad. Yeah, it's so bad. You're right, Zeb. Thank you. I misspoke. The Wizard. Yes, the Wizard. Not the Wiz, the Wizard. Oh, Zeb, shut up. I don't think it was just Wizard. I think it was the Wizard. I think. Yeah, it like the whole movie was basically one giant advertisement for Nintendo, and it culminated with the worldwide reveal of Super Mario Bros. 3. The Wizard was literally a platform to advertise Super Mario Bros. 3 because that was the climax of the whole movie. They played Super Mario Bros. 3, which hadn't come out yet, so they were advertising it with this movie. Nintendo literally made a whole fucking movie just to advertise their upcoming game, Super Mario 3. And it worked. And it fucking worked. Like the movie ending. This was like the Wizard came out at the height of Nintendo's popularity. And this 100% worked. Plus, I will point out the lead character, one of the lead characters was autistic. They never outright said it, which is a shame. It's a shame that they never outright said it. But the little boy in The Wizard, who was like an amazing gamer, he was autistic. And they kind of went the main Rain Man. No, not Corey Feldman wasn't in it. They did kind of go. Okay, Revan, how would you describe him then? Okay? How would you, I forget the character's name. The younger brother. How would you describe him? Very socially awkward, not very verbal. Really good at like when he found something that really interested him, he was laser focused. Oh shit! Holy shit, Foxhound! Thank you for 10,000 biddies! Thank you so much! Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh my god, I was like actually starting to tear up talking about that, but Jesus fucking Christ! Sam, that's not being laser focused, that's getting smacked in the face with 10,000 biddies! Jesus, thank you so much! Oh, but no, I wanted to say this, cause it's actually, you guys know how I get when I talk about this kind of thing. That character, the younger brother, this is not headcanon. That little boy, the character, was autistic. And they never talked about it. They never explicitly said it. But he was. And shit. Yeah. Shit. He 100% was the character was 100% autistic. No, Dragon, that was not ADHD. That was not ADHD. Okay. Trust me, I know autism. Okay? It is in my family. I know autism. The speech patterns, the very limited speech patterns, the discovering something that is of interest. Oh, okay, that's what you meant, Dragon. Okay, I'm sorry, and I misunderstood. I'm sorry. Yeah, autism, but they it may have not been well known, but I guarantee you, they wrote that character as being autistic. And bearing in mind, they used the Rain Man formula. Gray matter, I know autism because autism is in my family. A very close member of my family is severely autistic.
I
know
deleted
autism.
the contents of a GBA game using the GBA handheld itself. It lard fo TR by Black Label Games.
Okay, Gray matter. Yeah, but I'm going wildly all fucking. I have like leapfrog. I have skyrocketed way off topic here. But yeah, like this showcased autism positively. It was they did showcase autism positively in that movie. Whew. And the way he acts, where he like wanted to go to California, going to that one place where his had happy memories. That's autism. Like hyper focusing on one thing. Shit. So, because that's what happens with autistic people. They hyper focus on that one thing. And years down the line, they are still thinking about it. Because I see it in my family. To this day, I see it in my family. I see that hyper fixation. Years down the line. Oh, shit. Okay. Okay. Ooh. And holy shit, did I just go off on a tangent? Holy god, I went off on such a tangent. I'm okay, so I'm okay, thanks. I'm okay. You know how this subject always hits me right in the emotions. Oh. Oh, okay. I'm okay. Let's get off my tangent that is going wildly off topic, and let's get back to this.
I love the Power Glove.
There we go.
It's so bad.
No, I mean the actual TV commercial. This was one of those
But yeah,
times
the
when
Power
they
Glove
knew what they were
didn't
doing.
work.
They made the
It
Power
did not
Glove
work.
look awesome. Maybe it is awesome if you have a giant screen in a futuristic science fiction room.
The Power Glove.
They hyped it up in the most masterful, deceitful way. You could film a turd in an epic cinematic way and make it look like something you want. Well, they did a good job. You gotta hand it to them.
No, I did not have a Power Glove, Ross. I've talked to people who have used a Power Glove, and they said it did not fucking work. That it was absolute shit and never worked. Oh yeah, it is 100% a collector's item, but I've talked with people that did have a Power Glove back in the day, and they said it was just absolute dog shit.
With the fucking glove on. But here's an example of a good commercial for a good product.
Oh.
Batman, the video game.
Was a perfect movie tie-in. A rare example when it was done right.
For the Nintendo Entertainment System.
This commercial plays just like a movie trailer, and it is badass.
And it was a commercial for a game that was badass. I've seen James's review. I'm pretty sure it was James that did the review of Batman the game. Like the original NES no, Revan. Everything I've seen, the original Batman NES game was awesome. Like this was for the time, this was an awesome game. Like the way well, it's bad. Everything I've seen indicates it was good for the time period of when it came out. It was good. Again, keeping in mind the time period of when this came out. This was a great game. Now, the subsequent games you could say were not great. I think the sequel to this tried to borrow from the original and didn't quite make it stick.
My ex-wife is a board-certified behavior analyst. Her primary job is at a school for autism and traumatic brain injury.
Oh, okay.
And I love how Batman picks up his own game. But perhaps the greatest game teaser that I remember was one that didn't even need to show any clips from the game.
Mario! Mario!
All you had was a bunch of kids chanting Mario,
Which Mario game is this for?
To see the entire Earth and all those kids make up the face of Mario.
Ah! Which Mario game was this for?
Wow. Mario 3.
Oh! Mario 3? Okay, again. This commercial pales in comparison with the massive advertisement that was The Wizard. The Wizard, I would argue, was a far better and more grand advertisement for Super Mario 3 than this commercial. 100%. It was better.
3 is coming. What a statement. That this isn't just a game. This is a global phenomenon. One I'll never forget is that kid with the shrunken head who's playing Dr. Mario with the Witch Doctor.
I called the Witch Doctor, he told me what to do. He said, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, tang, tang, wada, wada, bing, bang. That means
oh my God.
Dr. Mario on Game Boy.
That song is so
Holy
catchy.
shit!
I hadn't even heard it again till now, and it's already infiltrated my brain all over again.
I beat the Witch Doctor, and this is what he said. He said, ooh, ee.
This commercial is insane.
Yes, it is.
And then he struck my head.
And that final line just nails it. And then he shrunk my head. I feel like as a kid, I just wanted to say that out of context all the time. Like, hey, Ma, I'm going outside to go roller skate.
Astra? It aged fine. I think that commercial aged just fine. It was very campy. You know, he was talking about witch doctors. Well, no, J10, the original song the original song did not come from Dr. Mario. Okay, the original song came out, I think, back in the 70s. They basically took the original song from the 70s and they changed up the lyrics. It was 60s? Okay, it was 60s, yeah. The original song came from the 60s. It was an actual song. You know, I went to the witch doctor and this is what he said. He said, ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, bing, bang, wada, wada, bing, bang. Ooh, ee, ooh, ah, ah, bing, bang, wada, wada, bing, bang. Yeah, it's like that was... Well, the Chipmunks did a cover of it. They absolutely did a cover. The Chipmunks did a cover of that song, but they did not originally create it. This was an actual song, and Astra, thank you for the reference, by Ross Bagzardian. And thank you, Dropkick. And you've had a lot of covers since then. The Chipmunks, the Dr. Mario commercial, but it was an actual song back from basically obviously the late 50s, early 60s. It was a real song.
At the cul-de-sac with Zach and Cody and Shannon. I'll be right back before dinner, okay? And then he shrunk my head.
No problemo.
Then in this series of commercials, there's this totally radical duo showing off the game Genie.
Game over?
Oh no God, way. The game
They're
Genie.
Like a poor man's version of Wayne and Garth and Bill and Ted, all rolled into one.
Excellent! Game Genie!
Wait, did Game Genie come out when Bill and Ted came out? That was 100% Bill and Ted right there when they just did that. That was 100% Bill and Ted. So did the game...
One.
Excellent!
That was literally the Bill and Ted move. Bill and Ted was 89. When did Game Genie come out? Game Genie had to have come out after Bill and Ted. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah, so this was at the height of the Bill and Ted. They 100% ripped that move off. Guitar riff and all from Bill and Ted. They 100% did. They were capitalizing on it. Hell yeah.
Game Genie from Glue, the awesome video game enhancer for your Nintendo Entertainment System.
Why are they so hopped up? You know, I don't
They
think this
even
is
sound
about
like
the
Bill
game
and Ted.
Genie. I think they got their hands on something else. Yeah, that genie gave him a wish, all right. Came in a puff of smoke. Dude, it gets you fucked up, man. And tell me, why does the TV always have to explode? Man, there's so much danger in these commercials. Like, you better watch out. These games are so hot, they might destroy your whole fucking house. And if you didn't think the 80s and 90s were that insane,
well, here we go.
Ask anyone who's been whisked away to a fiery chasm to play Game Boy against a robot warrior. Yeah, that shit happens.
I've seen this classic commercial.
Totally normal.
Use the revolution.
Yeah, well, yeah, like, this was like the early 90s, so yeah, everything was extreme. Like, the 90s was all about extreme. And so everything extreme blew up your fucking television set, apparently, because that was the symbol of extreme. Well, again, this came out, this was Game Boy. Game Boy was, what, early 90s? Maybe late 80s, early 90s? When did RoboCop come out? You gotta remember, all of this stuff is borrowing from one another. So, like, especially with the gaming industry and advertisements, they were 100% borrowing from popular films at the time for the nerd space. Yeah, RoboCop was 86, 87. This advertisement probably came out late 80s, early 90s. So, they were borrowing from popular media entertainment. There you go. Okay, RoboCop 87, Game Boy 89. RoboCop was still popular in the nerd space. So, advertising agencies frequently borrowed from the Hollywood zeitgeist to promote their products. This was common back then that they did this.
Video link and blow your opponent away. Game Boy, only from Nintendo.
I loved the Super Mario Land commercial, which put Mario into all those black and white movies like Earth versus the Flying Saucers and The Mummy. But the one that probably stuck out the most to me was the sequel with Wario.
Obey me, Wario. I am your master.
When this commercial was on the air, you would probably see it like 10 times a day. I think I actually felt hypnotized.
Obey Wario. Destroy Mario.
Could never get that voice out of my head. Obey
Wario.
When the Sega Genesis.
I think this was another one. I think Nostalgia Critic did this one on his commercials one. Nintendo's Genesis does what Nintendo don't. This was at the height of when Sega and Nintendo were really going after each other. This was kind of at the part of the height of the console wars. They were doing this. Yeah. Oh, this was this was like a series of them. I think they did a series of these Genesis does what Nintendo don't.
It became clear the 16-bit era would be much more competitive.
You can't do this on Nintendo Genesis.
All it took was a
Oh yeah, and Genesis. Hang on. Genesis had something of a coup because they actually got the Michael Jackson Moonwalker tie-in. And yes, Nintendo did ultimately win. They did. But at the time, this was a pretty big coup that they were able to get the Moonwalker tie-in with the movie. Because they even had an arcade version of this too. This was big. Because that was when Michael Jackson was at the height of popularity.
Celebrity shots, and it made it feel like the hottest shit. As a kid, I was susceptible enough to think that Michael Jackson was actually endorsing the Sega Genesis.
I mean, to a degree he was. Because Grindhouse, there was a game on the Nintendo Genesis called Moonwalker that was a direct tie-in with the Michael Jackson movie Moonwalker. They had a game. So in effect, he was promoting the Genesis. Yeah, arcade, Master System, and Genesis, but it was all under the Sega umbrella. And so yes, Great House. You don't know about this? Michael Jackson made a movie back in the early 90s. It's called Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. It was basically it was a movie, but it was literally one giant music video. It was literally just one, it was one giant music video, but it was a collection of music videos that each music video tied into the next one over the course of kind of a movie-length runtime. With Joe Pesci as the fucking bad guy. Let's not forget, Joe Pesci was the bad guy in Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. Okay? Like, it was... they did, I think they did like, what, 6 or 7 of his songs, and they were basically music videos. Some of them had absolutely nothing to do, they just threw them in there, but, yeah, it was, like, the whole purpose of Moonwalker was to highlight Smooth Criminal. Without question. That was the highlight of Moonwalker, was the Smooth Criminal music video. 'Cause, I'm sorry, Smooth Criminal is one of the greatest music videos of all time. Hands down, that was absolutely one of the greatest music videos that has ever been made and probably ever will be made. It was the song itself, the choreography, the atmosphere is fucking fantastic. I have always loved that music video, and I continue to love it, and it is out fucking standing. It is, for Rygat, it is better than Thriller. Smooth Criminal is far superior to Thriller. It far superior. It is like the GOAT of music videos. I cannot, off the top of my head, I cannot think of a better music video than it.
Nintendo answered with their next console, the Super Nintendo. The marketing wasn't as snarky as Sega's and typically didn't even address Sega. Instead, they just showed off an impressive library of games. And wait a minute, is that Paul Rudd? Yeah.
And like, oh my fucking god. What is with Nintendo pulling in these OG movie stars? They got Paul fucking Rudd. Holy shivets! He is ageless. He looks the same. Oh my fucking god! He does! The man truly is ageless! Oh, you're right. Oh god, why am I thinking Nintendo? You're right. It was Atari that did Jack Black. You're right. I am wrong. You're absolutely right. That was Atari that did that. Never mind. But holy shit! Temporarily grounded. Oh wow, really, Durha? Oh wow. Okay. Oh shit, that's not good. Pirate, we can only hope he will live forever.
Paul Rudd? Yeah, it's Paul Rudd! Man, we had no idea that kid was gonna go places. He's gonna be in Halloween 6. Now, as far as I'm concerned, the Super Nintendo is a much more advanced machine than the Genesis, but that didn't matter. The misinformation campaign was in full swing, and all Sega had to say was, well, guess what? Genesis has blast processing. It didn't matter that it was just a gimmick. Kids believed it, and Sega rubbed it in your face. They actually made you feel bad for not owning a Genesis.
And what if you don't have blast processing?
And when
I find that pretty funny that they tried to put Super Mario Kart as the slow one compared to Genesis. That's funny.
When it was clear they were actually losing, they went into life support mode by making
Is there
add-ons
Andrea?
like the Sega
Okay.
CD.
Post that in Stream Chat General for people.
What are you waiting for? Nintendo to make one?
What's the guy's problem? He makes it sound like you're a total loser for not owning a Sega CD. I mean, what the fuck, man? Just get a Sega CD already, asshole.
Yeah.
And Nintendo, I mean, their idea of getting back at Sega was to do shit like this.
What the hell?
Tricks, all served up with the latest graphic technology.
The fuck?
Oh, thank God. Is this a horror movie? Jesus fuck! What the fuck? That man's stomach just exploded. We just literally watched a man self-delete by eating. His stomach ripped open, chat. Oh. That was horrifying. That was absolutely fucking horrifying. Let's watch it again. God in heaven!
Super Mario World 2, only on the Super NES.
What does a guy stuffing his face and exploding have to do with Yoshi's Island?
Not a fucking thing. But it's memorable.
Nothing. Nothing at all. But all hell broke loose when Mortal Kombat came to...
This is another one I've seen in old commercials. The Mortal Kombat commercial where the guy just goes into an empty city street and yells out, Mortal Kombat! And that fucking beat. Tell me the Mortal Kombat song is not one of the most memorable songs ever. Oh yeah, they used... What you're talking about making the game? Yeah, they used I forget the technology. It was like what real action image actual image capture for the game. Like the first time they ever did that. Rotoscoping, yeah, that's
hell broke loose when Mortal Kombat came to the home consoles. The kid stands out on the streets, arms raised, and screams Mortal Kombat like his life depends on it.
Yep.
It's more than just a scream. It's a call to action, and the streets soon flooded with other kids who heard the call. No longer would the game be confined to the arcades where it was guarded by the quarter hogs.
Yeah, Astro Bear,
we
yeah, like rotoscoping, digitizing rotoscoping.
Mortal Monday! That scream was a call of freedom, a call that incited a riot over a video game?
Yeah.
The Japanese commercials were even crazier.
Oh, this may be the... Okay. Remember I was telling you guys that the commercial for Legend of Zelda that Nostalgia Critic talked about, where it was like a guy rapping about Legend of Zelda, and then the Japanese version was even more insane? I think this is the one.
Man, for Zelda Link to the Past, they pulled out all the stops with an elaborate dance and rap. They weren't fucking around. This was the equivalent of a full-scale Broadway production. And seeing a live-action depiction of Ganon is a real treat. Yeah, I can't...
I mean, it's the Japanese. This is what, like, this shit is what they do. They love their cosplay, they love... think of when they did, like, the Sega Top series of commercials. Like, the Japanese took their video games fucking seriously back then. And this was one of them.
Fucking around. This was the equivalent of a full-scale Broadway production. And seeing a live-action depiction of Ganon is a real treat.
I wonder if James is going to talk about that.
I can't lie. I wish we had these commercials, because it's pretty awesome.
Yep. Oh, Japan was off the chain with them.
Yeah, all the Famicom Japanese commercials were the ones I wish I could have seen back then. And this is probably the closest you'll ever see to a live-action version of Street Fighter 2. Nowadays, you've seen enough cosplays and fan films
Zelda
and all
commercial.
that, so it's not very surprising.
Hey,
but back then,
Astro,
seeing these
more accurate than the
in
movie
flesh
they
and
made.
blood was pretty mind-blowing. The following generation gave us a new wave of whacked-out commercials. Some of the craziest came from the 3DO. The kid is so taken back by its awesomeness that he gets utterly destroyed.
Oh my god!
I mean,
That's
can you think
horrifying.
of many ads that shows
Drac,
a kid's
thank
head
you.
rolling across the floor? And with the 3DO being a new contender in the console arena, they did not hold back at insulting both Nintendo and Sega.
The passive
Yeah,
type
how'd that
probably
work out
plays
for him?
Nintendo.
You're working late tonight.
Shit talking was nothing new, but to see actual abuse being done to the consoles was something else.
Yeah, Revan, it was, and it was fucking
If
glorious.
you're not playing on a 3DO system, what are you playing with?
Yeah, fuck those kids' toys. 3DO is
Yeah.
the real deal. Then the
2
Atari
seconds.
Jaguar came along, and since it had nothing to brag about, it hyped up Doom, which you could play on literally any other console. But they took it to biblical proportions, with a priest delivering a
Thank
fiery
you for the
sermon.
follow, the... I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Lost souls and demons. And how do you escape?
Imagine going to church, and the priest is ranting about Doom. That would be my kind of church.
Hell yeah.
One of the better Atari Jaguar games was Alien vs. Predator, and it also happens to be one of the scariest commercials.
You might not want to play it alone.
Really?
Ha, look at the kid's face. Give him some glasses and he looks like you-know-who.
It's right. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. They went all in on that commercial. Goddamn. The only thing that could have made it better is if he turned around and saw the and they had the Predator's tri-laser targeting system go onto his chest.
What the fuck? There's nothing like it. The alien is brushing him with his dead mom's arm. That is messed up.
Yeah, and the only thing that could have been better is if he looked at the alien and then went turned around, was like ah, and then you saw the 3 laser dot Predator targeting system like show up on his forehead or something. That would have, because it was Alien versus Predator, that would have made it perfect.
The alien is brushing him with his dead mom's arm. That is messed up. On that note, here's an ad for the FM Towns computer in Japan.
Ah! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell am I looking at?
What's going on here? What? Why is there a creepy
What is this
face?
Ringu shit?
It's like you blink and you almost miss it. I would pause it, but I don't even want to pause it. What the fuck, man? Why? Just why?
Chat? Me too. Hold me, chat. I'm scared. Holy fuck. That is some serious Ringu shit right there. But shut up.
It's safe to say they don't make them like they used to. This retro period was an isolated time when commercials were off the wall and batshit insane. But afterwards, nothing weird ever happened. I would say by the time they got to PS3, they wouldn't do anything like that.
I want one. I want one. I want one. Put it in my mouth. Put it in my mouth, Chad. I'm not entirely sure that's appropriate for the circumstances. No, I guess he's not Astra. I would have fully expected him to talk about Sekepashinro. I'm honestly kind of surprised he did. Yeah, like that was a series. Like with story arcs and an actual conclusion. I'm really surprised he didn't talk about it.
Would they?
Jesus fuck. Fucking fuck. Fucking hell, what is it? What the actual fuck am I looking at?
Who are the...
Yeah. I think I need to change my panties. And not for good reasons either. What the fuck did I just watch? I need an adult. Fiddly fuck. JRC, that Chucky feels that doll, okay? That doll makes Chucky shit batteries. Fuck, I'm gonna have nightmares now. Kill that with nuclear fire, cause regular fire ain't gonna do it.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Holy fuck. I did not expect to end that video on nightmare fuel. Jesus Christ. Holy fuck. That was fucking terrifying. That was absolutely fucking terrifying.
Now we have to bully Ember into playing horror games.
I'm fine with horror games. I don't have any problem with horror games, but that commercial is shit your pants scary. And thank you, Ewok. No, Mouse, thankfully. Well, wait. I do have that Funko Pop of Mal Reynolds and the Doctor.